It's really, really important for composers to have a chance to talk about their music in front of an audience, and especially to have the music heard in front of an audience. Today, we have a record number of composers. My dream has come true as people are becoming increasingly interested in composition. And we have 7 composers today. So the presentations are going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I've asked composers to prioritize the listening of the music over the speaking. So some of the spoken presentations will be pretty trimmed, but you'll be able to see their projects in action. We have a huge array of different kinds of composition, from media scoring to classical music to performance art to like rock music. We've just got a tremendous amount of different kinds of music represented today, which is why I'm really particularly excited. So I'm not going to talk too much. We have very limited time. I'll talk a little bit at the end. We're going to hold questions for, depending on time, we'll either hold questions for the end or hold questions for afterwards. And all of the composers' pieces will be available for a full listen on Canvas, which will make that happen. So to start us off today, we've got Edgar. Round of applause for Edgar.
Hello everybody, my name is Edgar Perez. This will be my first and last musical presentation, as it is my last year for A&P. So a little bit about me. Again, I am a voice comp student. This is my last year. I've done 4 full semesters for A&P, and I started my musical journey around the end of high school, but it didn't really kick off until a little bit after I started taking classes at Pierce College. In terms of training, I basically had nothing. I didn't really understand anything until I took classes in Pierce. I've always loved music, and I always knew I wanted to do something with it. Some of the inspirations that I have in terms of media is like Donkey Kong, Soulborn games, some JRPGs, and MMOs like Destiny 2. In terms of other inspirations, like actual bands, I actually really like listening to like Baby No Money, MF Doom, Leve, Joji, and many more. And in terms of composers, I really look up to Michael Salvatore, Tsukasa Saito, David Wise, and Shoji Meguro. So a couple of the projects that I've been working on for the small amount of time I had this semester was Hoist the Colors, which is a sea shanty type beat for a gameplay that I've set up. A Saloon That Sells Star Drops, which is a OST inspired piece by Stardew Valley. A minuet called Dancing Grenade, and a percussion piece that's just pitchless instruments. So a couple of things that Dr. Shu has put inside my brain as an amateur composer is I learned a lot about instrumentation for specific scores, harmonic structures and melodic structures, understanding different pieces from video game scores to classical scores, and how to properly write down music instead of just smashing away at the keyboard, making it sound like nonsense. So my main project that I've done was Hoist the Colors. Again, this is my first time ever writing in a video game style. It is inspired from a game called Dishonored. The original trailer for Dishonored used a sea shanty, which was some random sea shanty I don't remember. And I decided to use a song that was inspired from Pirates of the Caribbean. So what I did was I listened to the original, rearranged it to make it sound original, but still make it my own. To better understand the gameplay, I decided to replay the game after like 5-10 years of not being able to play the game in 2 sittings. And then I chose key points from the combat system and some story. And the gameplay was recorded by me, so please excuse how bad the gameplay is, because it's been a while since I replayed the game. So a little bit about the structure for the piece. Intro is about 24. There's an A and B section that repeat twice. And then there's an outro. It is quite a big piece. It's the biggest piece I've ever written. And I'm honestly really excited that I really wrote this piece. So a majority of the piece is in F minor. The organ that I have put into the piece typically follows a 5-1. And the cello also is another key instrument that establishes a really strong bass for the piece, because it also mostly plays octaves, fifths, and thirds. And I'm going to play a little snippet of the organ. a majority of the voice follows the same line of note and reappear quite often. I decided to use a baritone voice for this piece because it just fits the type of sea shanty that it is. The organ also has a couple of repeating eighth notes to give the piece a more intense feeling. And the violin shadows the voice melody, but it ensures that it has a little more complexity over the voice. I'm going to show you a little bit of the baritone voice. So for the instrumentation, what I decided to use was the organ, bass guitar, violins, cello, tuba, and the bass drum. I really wanted to make it sound like a sea shanty, but also make it give this music a bit of boom. And I also used the flute and the violin to give it a nicer tone instead of just a darker tone. And I will be playing a snippet of a bit of my piece. Again, that was just a snippet of. Again, that was a snippet of the piece, and like Dr. Xu said, we'll be posting our full scores if you wanted to listen to the entirety. Thank you.
Okay, next up we've got Sebastian.
Hello everyone, I'm Sebastian. This is Sebastian Presentation by me, Sebastian. A little bit about me, I'm Sebastian. This is my first year in AMP, and I didn't start taking music classes until around 2021. I didn't really know what I wanted to do until around then. So I have no prior knowledge of anything until recently. So this is my first composition. Okay, so my inspirations are, I got my inspirations for the pieces I worked on this semester right here. So this is, my first one is Michael Salvatore. He worked on the soundtrack for Destiny 2, and two songs I really like from him are Deep Stone Lullaby and The First Disciple. My second inspiration is Krista Lulu. He did the soundtrack for a video game called Risk of Rain 2. Two songs I really like are Rain Formerly Known as Purple and Con the Two Colorosa. No. So, I did 4 assignments this semester. We're only going to listen to one, but my first assignment was a rhythm assignment. It was very short. It just wanted to see how I was writing. I also did a minuet. It was mainly just to test my music theory knowledge. And then I also transcribed the Rain Formerly Known as Purple, and conditional finale is the big assignment of this semester. No. I got you. Again. So this is just the rhythm assignment. The picture shows a short snippet of it. It was just the bass drum and the wood blocks. It was very simple with 8 notes, whole notes, quarters. That's a picture of it showing the very simple. The next was my transcription of the Rain Formerly Known as Purple. This took really long. was sitting there for 6 hours trying to figure out how to do this correctly and what instruments I could use. The picture shows a snippet of it as well. This is PF Minuet, a minuet I worked on for a little while. PF stands for poop fart because I couldn't come up with a title. So that's the secret behind it. It's 32 measures long, has a repeat at measure 16 and 32. It starts in G minor, or it changes to G minor and back to B flat major. Has ends. That's good. So this is my headpiece, Conditional Finality. It was inspired by Deep Stone Lullaby from Destiny 2. The way I came up with this piece was I just listened to it over and over again and then made my own version of it. It's an 88 format, 69 measures long, and it was made so that it's actually playable. At first it wasn't. So I'll play now for you guys. Just so you can. That's it.
Okay, our next composer is Daniel.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Daniel Molina, and this is my composition presentation. So first of all, to start things off, my musical background. I first started in 2019 when I was 14 years old. I started with FL Studio, which is, as many of you know, a digital audio workstation. And back then, I didn't know much about music theory, so what I would do is copy down piano songs from YouTube, and I kind of started learning patterns from doing those like personal projects, I guess. And to learn composition, at first I also tried to watch YouTube videos. And after a while, I got a piano. And before Pierce, I really only had like one music class during high school and a little bit of piano experience from church. So as for my biggest inspiration ever, it's this game called Undertale. And for some reason, back when I first played Undertale, I had no prior knowledge of music or anything related to it. But after I played Undertale, it inspired me so much with the soundtrack that all I wanted to do was to compose music like Toby Fox, the composer of Undertale. And I also have Genshin Impact and Attack on Titan up here because those two soundtracks inspired me further with their really beautiful orchestral OSTs. So for work this semester, Professor Shu had me write a rhythm drum practice on staff, and he taught me how to write rhythm better on staff. For my specific project this semester that I will be presenting, he wanted me to write for a chamber music ensemble with a piano, violin, cello, clarinet, and flute. And he had me memorize the ranges, and he taught me their uniqueness, like how the clarinet is in B flat. Composing specifically, he taught me how to write more interesting melodies and how to fill up my score more with the accompaniments that I had. And he taught me about dynamics. For my composition specifically, I wanted to make some sort of video game boss fight theme. So I have 3 parts on it: phase 1, a transition, and phase 2. The first part is daunting, transition is contrasting, and the second part is heroic. I try to use distinct melodies like Undertale and reuse them like leitmotif. And I composed this using my piano and in FL Studio. And as a one final note is my cat Luna. I composed. I started composing a song for her over summer, and 2 of the main melodies that I composed using her name are present in my composition. So to start things off, here's phase 1. Now this is a snippet of the transition. And lastly, this is phase 2, which was heavily inspired by Finale from Undertale. you for
Yeah. You just clicked it. All right, next up we've got Lex.
My name is Lex. This is my composition presentation, as you can see. So a little bit about me. I started playing guitar about 6 years ago, and I also play piano, banjo, bass. And I started piano about 3 years ago. I only took 2 lessons because I kind of just wanted to learn the basics so I can start composing my own stuff on it. Some influences. So I'm heavily influenced by the 2000s rock genre, as you can see. A lot of emo bands. Also some classical. My favorite classical composer is probably Chopin. So these are some things I learned this semester. So that image up there, well, there's 2 images. The first one is kind of the mixing board that I used in Logic. You can see the panning and the buses I used. And these are some of the things I learned. How to structure a piece, how to write a more interesting melody, a lot of different shortcuts. So about the composition, my original intention was to create kind of like a short intro to an album that I'm writing that transitioned to another track, but I ended up extending it to be a full-length song. The structure is the intro, verse, chorus, verse, and outro. I record the guitar, piano, and bass myself, and the strings that you hear are MIDI, and the drums are just like an auto drummer from Logic that Dr. G also taught me how to use. So the intro starts in C minor. The progression is a minor 1, 6, 5, 7, 5, and a 5, which sounds like this. And then it changes to E minor using the 5 as a 5th chord, and this is the 5. And that's E minor. And the verse is in E minor now. That's the chord progression. It sounds like this. And the rhythm guitar is arpeggiating this chord using a dotted 8th delay. And what that is it basically takes one note and then repeats it automatically. So it sounds a lot more complicated than when I'm actually playing it. The chorus is the same progression, but in E minor. And the ending is now extending the last 2 chords of the verse, which is this. So now it's. And then this is the composition.
everyone. My name is Evan Ray Clark. This is my Moody masterpiece. It's called Past. That's Larry Bird, three-time MVP, telling us that he loves this piece of music, so that's nice. Here's a nice stretched out image of me. So some stuff about me is before I was a musician, I was in a musical theater, and before I even played, I was just really big fan of music, and I've been a piano player for almost 10 years, mainly doing jazz piano stuff, dabbling in some classical. You'll kind of hear it in this piece today. It's the second movement of my three-movement piece. So I just wanted to go over the intention behind the piece before I get into some of the nitty-gritty details. So I said it's a race against our own lives and desires, how things slip through our fingers. Those are all thematic elements of this movie that I watched called Past Lives, where two people are, in your eyes, they're meant to be together, but in the end, it doesn't actually pan out. They kind of live different lives. I thought that was a pretty powerful theme, as things just kind of don't go our way all the time. And this image of this man is how I felt talking about and thinking about all these very deep concepts. So that's great. This slide was hilarious, so I kept it. Dr. Zhu and I went over a lot of some philosophical things about composing, what it means to be a composer, and how to balance out your life between having a job and composing and doing what you love, and also talking about file management. So just to talk about some of the themes and motifs of my three-movement piece, it's in 5/4, almost has this chase-like feeling. The forms of all of these and the music theory I didn't so much rely on, but they are sort of like mini rondos, all of them, with all contrasting sections that kind of go back to an A section at the end, a lot of A, B, C, D sections. This one is in E minor, kind of goes between like an E Phrygian actually, and then it goes in E flat. The second movement borrows some serial elements, 12-tone music and whatnot. And it's a much more slower, more intense, kind of lost in the woods feeling with more diminished chords, and it's centered around C sharp minor with a very poignant and sharp melody. And the third movement is more of a sweeping and beautiful acceptance. This was meant to be like the acceptance in the emotional arc of the three movements, with a little more heroic sounding and modern chord progression. So let's play it. You ready? We have two players, Katrina and Tristan.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we've got James.
Hello, everybody. My name is James Ellie, and this is my second semester composition presentation. I have been playing the drums for about 10 years, the tenor saxophone for 7 years, and I've been singing for close to 8 years. I've been composing music since 2016. I use Logic Pro X. My favorite genre to write in is metal, but I also like to explore orchestral and electronic styles. I was raised on old school heavy metal rock and roll. Through the years, my taste got a little more extreme, if you will. As you can see by the colorful pictures up there, I like a lot of death metal, a lot of screaming stuff. My accomplishments for the fall semester, I further developed my skills with notation software like MuseScore. I practiced part writing for specific instruments, and I practiced video and audio editing. My 3 big projects, the biggest, I created and scored a video for the video game Cyberpunk 2077, and then I also wrote a piece for a hypothetical farming simulator game, and adapted an original metal piece into a different genre. So the big one, creating and scoring A Day in Night City. This video game takes place in a dark dystopian city called Night City. I had to learn a new software, DaVinci Resolve, to capture and edit video game footage to make like a cohesive video. The video follows the game's protagonist V through the game's 3 distinct life paths. I was instructed with some general themes and sounds, and I wrote specific motifs for each life path. And here is the video.
Do you think?
Okay. Last but not least, we've got Colin. Are you performing first?
Hello, my name is Colin Bellotti. I forgot to make a performance. Hopefully, this will suffice. Hello, 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 hello. My name is hello, 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 hello. I forgot. Hello, 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 well, hello, well, hello, well, hello, well, hello, hello, well, hello, well, hello, well, hello. My name is Colin. I forgot. Hello, well, hello, hello, well, hello, well, hello. Well, hello. My name is Hello. My name is Hello. Well, hello. Well, hello. Well, hello. My name is Paul. I forgot. Hello. Well, hello. Hello. Well, hello. Well, hello. Well, hello. My name is Hello. My name is 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 Hopefully. My name is My name is Hello. My name is Hopefully. My name is I forgot. Hopefully, this will suffice.
Because I would like to get back to music. But I'll explain a little bit what my composition
assignment was this semester.
Okay, well, that.
This is the next slide. Okay, so this is my big assignment this semester. Dr. Zhu wanted me to write a notation for this machine, which is called the SD404 Mark II. It's a sampler. So I will explain a little bit. This is the Y graph, or the Y axis, is all the samples I'm using. The X axis is time, or measures in this case. And the dividing line, which is signifying bus 1 or bus 2, is essentially just defining which samples are getting what effects applied to them. So this bottom graph down here is the secondary graph that's running at the exact same time as the top graph, and it is essentially just telling you which bus you're going to be flipping back and forth to, which sample you're going to be affecting. So that's there's also a notation that goes along with this, but this was what I spent most of my time developing. So we go to the next one. I'm just going to get back to the music, if you don't mind.
composition lessons is you can write whatever you want with my approval. or if you can convince me to write what you want to write, you can make that happen. The composition program is designed to be extremely flexible, and it's in pedagogical terms student-led learning. So what that means is you are in the driver's seat for what you want to accomplish with your composition lessons, and I am there to make sure that you can achieve your goals in the best way possible, whatever they may be. So that's the reason you heard such a huge variety of music today. Yeah, so I think we're basically out of time. So I will send you all out into the wide open world. You can please pepper the composers with questions. I'm sure you all have a lot of things you would like to ask of your friends and colleagues, and that's good practice for them too.